We're here with the 326. Today I was inspecting the knotters and I found some stuff I didn't like on one of the bill hooks. So I've already previously taken the knife arm off. I just thought I'd go ahead and make a video of removing the bill hook and installing a new or different bill hook. We're gonna pull this pin, flip your knotter assembly up. You would remove your knife arm at that time. Mine's already gone. Is I'm going to remove my tensioner for the bill hook, and you can actually do that before you flip that up. I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. You guys can see this. Remove your spring, your washer, your nut. Pull this piece right off. That's what it looks like. This is what actually tensions the tongue, whatever you want to call it, on the bill hook. So that's off. Then we're going to flip this up, and then you're going to have to turn it to where you can get to, it's got basically a roll pin. It's not really a roll pin, it's a drive-in pin. Just like a roll pin, only it's solid. It's a solid pin. And you'll have to remove the pinion for the bill hook, okay? After you do that, you should be able to slide the bill hook out, put your new bill hook in. I could have forgotten a little step in there. We'll cover it as we go. So let's get started. In. I have already removed the knife arm, which comes out of this slot right here. Just shine a little bit of light on there. I couldn't hardly see. If you can see, it is perpendicular to the flat. You can see it at the tip of my knife right there. That's the pin. This position right here that it's in is the easiest position to remove that. See that pin coming out there, right here? There we go. To beat on this thing and beat on this thing to get it loose, and now it is loose. I shouldn't say loose, but it's actually moving. So there we go. Whew. That thing was stuck. Okay, there's the bill hook. Set that here. Here's the pinion, the drive. I'm gonna make sure I clean that up on that inner bore really good. Got the bill hook assembly off and apart. This is the drive, pinion. This is the bill hook. That goes in, it goes through here like this. This is the pin that holds these two together. On a standard, this piece here is not removable. This is the piece that actually that your bill hook roller runs on, and tells this thing when to open. Kind of like a little track, like a cam track. So I want to go over with you guys I'm wanting to change it. First off, the most obvious thing is, I can't see it real well, but you can kind of see it here. This right here where it's not shiny, the reason it's not shiny is because it's worn very, very badly. Yeah, there you go. You see these grooves worn in here? That's worn from twine. There's a groove over here on this side as well. The issue with the bill hook here is the bill hook needs to be really, really smooth, okay? Because that knot has to slip off there. And if you've got any roughness or grooves cut in it like this, you're gonna have issues with that knot. Now, it may not happen every time, but you're gonna have issues. And then this here is actually wore pretty bad right here as well. So that right there is the main thing. And then, of course, it's got some flat spots on this roller. You know, that's not gonna cause it not to die, but once you get one flat spot, it's gonna roll to that spot, and then it's gonna keep wearing it down, and it's gonna get to where it won't roll. You'll lose your clearance, it's not gonna open enough, and you're gonna have issues in the future. I have another knotter. I'm gonna look at the bill hooks on it and see if they're suitable. Here's a bill hook right here that is, you know, it's not perfect, it does have wear, but It's in way better shape than the one I just took off that other one. This here is how they should remove. Here's the one I removed from my standard knotter. This one I moved from the heavy duty knotter on the 326. If you look, they're identical. But right here is my grooves. This one here does not have them. This one does have wear. Now, I'm not saying it's like new, but it is smooth and it doesn't have those grooves. So I think this one's gonna work much better than the one I'm removing. So I kind of got this wiped off a little bit. Now, put some grease through here, some grease through this one down here, just to make sure that everything's working properly. And then I'm going to put some WD-40 on everything as it goes together, just to get it good and slick. And then we'll be going back together. Screw this off here. Someone just hadn't been greasing it. It is packed with old grease and dirt. Got it on the grease gun. I'm gonna pump a little bit. You can see it coming out. That's all I need right there. Confirmation that it's actually working. I'm gonna go ahead and put a little bit. Now again, I don't want it all over everything. I'm just, you know, I can wipe up the excess if I need to, but I am gonna put, I want some on the inner bore of all this stuff, okay? And I'm actually gonna put some on, especially in this area right here, this shank, because this is something that does not get greased. And you can actually go ahead and screw this in, but since I only have one hand, okay, now we got that. Now we've got this. Bam. Bingo, bango, bongo, baby. Look at that. And the hole should be really close to being lined up. Look at that. I'm here to tell you, it is lined up. I don't know if you guys can see that. So this will be, yep, just like that. If you can see straight through there, that's what we want. Drive that pin in, put our two cap screws in here, and this thing will be back together. We'll have to just put the knife arm on. Footage, and that's just how it happened. My hammer. You want me to put down the hammer? Okay, sorry. Most of you guys probably don't get that reference. But if you do get that reference, let me know down below. Next up is the knife arm. Swiper arm or knife arm, either one. It does both jobs. It has the knife on it, which is right here. It has the swiper on it, which is right here. It's running like this, is how it's running. Okay, so as it comes across the bill hook, it's cutting the twine right here on the knife, and then this here actually goes over the heel of the bill hook, this right here, and it actually has to be rubbing. So we may do some adjusting on this. We'll see how it looks whenever we get it up there. If the knife can be replaced, this arm has been replaced at some point. I don't know, it was on it whenever I got it. But to replace the knife, it's very, very simple. If you buy a knife, you will get the knife blade and 2 bolts. Even if you didn't get the 2 bolts, you can put 2 bolts in it. This is riveted. The way you do it, you just take your grinder, you grind these pieces here down flush with this, and you take a punch and a hammer and punch them out. This piece right here is just a piece of steel. It'll remove, and then you can see the knife goes in between there. You can see that. That knife will come off, then it will go on. You put this piece back over, put your bolts in, tighten it down. Then once you do that, you don't have to use a grinder or anything. From that point on, you just remove the nuts off the bolts, put the new one on. Easy peasy. So right here is the normal position. Like I said, this is all, everything's together, just like you're running it, except for I already have this cotter pin out here, and I already have this bracket off here. So you just take this nut, it'll be like this bracket right over here, if you can see that. You take this nut off right here, take this bracket off right here, and then you're to where I am right now. Pull this pin, fold this up, again, not too high, about horizontal like this is where I like to kind of start. And it's already wanting to fall off. Look at that, guys. And of course, like I said, this will work really good if you've kept your baler up and it's been properly maintained, everything's greased and everything free. Everything is free. Okay. You get to this point here, you have quite a bit of movement here, okay? Well, you start dropping down, and as you drop down, you swipe it. This is way further than what it would normally travel. Oh, it's about to fall out. And then as you kind of drop that down, you can rotate this up just a little bit more, and then that falls right out. And there you have it. Kind of get this lined up in that hole. I'm going to drop it back down where I was. I'm going to make sure I'm at the right angle here. And I'm going to kind of start working up. So I'm hitting on something right there. I just kind of work it in towards this normal range of motion. Now I'm all the way up and I'm lined up. Right there is where we need to be. And we're done. That's literally, that's it, guys. Now I'm ready to put my cotter pin in. All right, so the way I judge how tight I want it, you want contact. Number one, you want contact between your knife arm, your swiper, and your bill hook. Now you don't want too much because you're going to cause excessive wear. It's going to be too much load. You're going to shear bolts. You're going to have issues. So the way I do it is I want it to hold right here. But you see, I'm putting a decent amount of force to get it past that. So I really want that to be a little bit looser. I'm going to line it up on my bill hook, okay? So it's right at the peak, at where it's the tightest, basically is what I'm trying to say. Okay, so right in here, and I'm gonna take my hammer, and I'm gonna hit right here at this bend. And what that's gonna do is this impact is going to actually spring this up and away from the bill hook, okay? Now, this isn't a science, so okay. Now let's try it here. Oh, just get to have my finger in there. Okay, now that's going to be really close. So I'm okay with that. So it's not completely holding it, but it is rubbing pretty good and firm. And also I have this really loose, so there's more weight on it than what would normally be. Once I'm done here, I'm actually going to tighten this back up and take some of this in play out here. So I think that there is actually perfect right there. You can kind of see it's holding most of the weight. And again, like I said, this is really, really free. If you notice I'm hanging up here, that's because I don't have the tensioner for the bill hook. And so when I lift it up, the bill hook tongue, or whatever you want to call it, actually falls open and it hits on that roller is what's happening there. All right, guys. So we already did this one. I went ahead and did this one afterward. Didn't show you guys that. No sense in wasting your time. But I do want to show, so this one here was froze up really bad, just like the other one was. And I want to show you, while I had it out, I went ahead and pumped some grease in it. I got this grease slug. There's no way this would have ever greased if I did not take that piece out of that knife arm. I went ahead and loosened the fit between the knife arm and the bill hook. I went too far because it's hard to tell with as stiff as it was, but I wanted to show what is too loose. So that one there, I mean, there's barely any drag on it. So I'm going to rotate this to where it's out past the bill hook now, and I'm going to hit it right here, and that's going to bend this down, just like you'd think it would. And you guys fell again. I tell you what, you guys fall more than anyone, so yeah. I actually went too far. Should have went 1 lick instead of 2. So there's your official measurement for adjusting. You really need to just go 1 lick at a time. And now, for some reason, I can't get the stupid camera to stay where it needs to be. So anyways, now you can see that it's actually too tight. So we'll have to go back the other way. And you guys have already seen this, and you're just going to where we stand with the 326 New Holland. Just went through the knotters in this video here. I really appreciate you guys watching. Stay tuned. You know, as you can see, the baler is pretty well wrapping up here. I'm probably going to have one more video just of the overall. I'm going to do a recap on what all was done, what all I purchased, what money I got in it, what I made myself, what where I saved money at, and where kind of what I replaced. Just kind of an overview of everything I did. That'll be the last video in the series. This video here is probably going to hit before several of the other videos in the Baler series, just because, you know, in these other videos, it probably doesn't look like a lot's going on, but there's a lot of time. Those videos span several days. There's many, many hours of footage to go through, so it's taking me a lot longer to do that. This video here, I just did this all today. There's not that many hours of footage, so I'll chop that all together, and it'll just be kind of a nodder video. And again, I didn't go in really in depth, but I just thought it'd be nice. Kind of go over changing the bill hook and the knife arm, and a little bit of adjustment on the knife arm. And I just thought that'd be nice for somebody. Maybe it'll help somebody out there. I really appreciate you guys sticking around watching this. I hope you enjoy the transformation of this baler. I want anybody out there that's working on this a 326 or a 320 or any other baler that's got anything in common with this baler, I want you guys to be able to use that. I want this to be a resource for you guys. I know I always use YouTube and Google, you know, whatever. And, you know, if someone else has done it before me, hey, if I can learn from their mistakes, why not? You know, that's how I look at it. So I hope you guys find this helpful. If you have any questions, any comments, hit me up, guys. I'll reply to you. I'm more than happy to help in any way I can. I'm not a professional. I don't get paid to do this kind of work. This is just stuff I do on my own things. Yes, I've done quite a bit of it. I feel like I'm pretty well versed. That doesn't mean that I know everything. I have not encountered every situation. There's so many individual situations you can come across on a square baler and knotters. But overall, they are pretty simple. So, good luck. God bless. Franklin County Forge out.